What it do, what it do. This is our first NXT recap of 2021, so we might as well kick it off right. My name is Jordan Moser. I will be handling the NXT recaps for the Disciples of Wrestling. And tonight we got New Year's Evil, the first NXT of 2021. And while it was an amazing show, we didn't get the fight pit. But we did get a great last woman standing match and a rematch from the NXT 2020 match of the year. And I just want to talk about it with y'all. So let's go. First up to kick the night off, we do have Dexter Lumis coming out in his evilest best, you could say. He flips the switch and kind of gets things started for the night, and leads into our first match, which is Karrion Kross in his first match back against Damian Priest. We do see Damian Priest, he comes out, then he has a bob in his head and it's some tassels on his leg. I don't know who recommended this to him, but it did not look cool at all. But we do see just the beginning of this match, they're locking up real hard. They're going at it inside the ring, outside the ring, like they will not let go of each other. It's pretty crazy. But we do see for the bulk of this match, it's honestly a lot of Damian Priest just showing that he can stand up to Karrion Kross's offense and not go down and pretty much face him like a man like he said he would. We even do have a spot where he's just like taking headshots and Priest is like, nah man, nah, I ain't going down. I'm facing you like a man like I said I would. Honestly, he got a lot more offense in this match than I expected him to. I think a lot of us expected him to. I think he came out the match looking a lot better than Kross, which is a weird thing, honestly. But that didn't last long. We do see the end of the match. Kross pretty much takes over. They're fighting outside the ring. He throws his already injured ribs into the scaffold and just slams Priest on the steel steps on the outside. They do get back in the ring and Priest is like, hey man, I'm still standing. What you gonna do, bro? Yeah, he won't stand it for long. Got hit with that patented Saito suplex and then a devastating forearm from the corner. It just kind of knocks him out, and that's the 1-2-3 victory for Karrion Kross. This was an average opener, I would say. I'm kind of still getting used to Karrion Kross's style. It's kind of been a little one-dimensional. That's been a problem in a lot of his big matches, even his match with Keith Lee all the way back at TakeOver 30. So definitely still getting used to his style. His presentation is wonderful, but his style in the ring just got to get a little bit better. I think Damian Priest, he came out of this match looking a little bit better. People say that's because of a call-up that's coming. Who knows? We will see. But as an opener, it's pretty fair, pretty average. Don't have too many thoughts about it. Next up is kind of a pickup in the action. We got Gran Metalik versus Santos Escobar for the Cruiserweight Championship. Commentary team said it's been 5 years since the Cruiserweight Classic, and I was like, he ain't won that Cruiserweight title in that amount of time? Dang, bro, they really don't like him. But nonetheless, Gran Metalik, he comes out, it's high flying, it's fast action. His Hurricanrana is one of the best in the business. Every time he hits it, it just looks beautiful. So he's pretty much in the control for the beginning part of this match until Escobar kind of catches him on the outside and throws him into the barricade as we go to commercial break. We come back from break, it's just that lull in the action. You know, the heel's in control, they're taking over. But we do see Metalik start to come back. We do see a really nice move, one of my favorite moves ever. We see Metalik just leaping from the outside. Escobar catches him with a flying knee and then hits the best dive in all of wrestling. That arrow from the depths of hell, a la his King Cuerno days. God, I miss Lucha Underground. Jeez. And they're fighting in the corner. Gran Metalik's mask almost comes off. I don't know if that was planned in any way, but he's basically just readjusting his mask from there throughout the duration of the end of the match. But we do see the end of the match. He's in control. He's going up to the top for that springboard elbow. Joaquin Wilde and Raul Mendoza on the outside trying to interfere, and Lince Dorado's on the outside, and he's like, nope, that's my friend. He interferes and just bowls them over to kind of get them out the way, but that allows Escobar in the ring to take control. He hits that butterfly shoulder breaker that he's been using as of late, and then hits that Phantom Driver for the 1-2-3 and the win. This is a pretty average match as well. Definitely they didn't get to explore a lot of the high flying, fast paced stuff that you associate more with cruiserweight action, but a fair match. Definitely glad to see Gran Metalik get his shine that he deserves. It's been 5 years since the Cruiserweight Classic, like commentary said, and he should have been a much bigger deal in this division and in WWE in general by this point. Average match, I definitely want to see him get more shots at the Cruiserweight title, kind of see him fight Escobar again when the time comes, but all in all, just a fair match from these two as well. Next up, we do get a short video package from Mercedes Martinez. She's kind of staking her claim after attacking Io Shirai a couple of weeks ago for that NXT Women's Championship. The only thing I took from this is that Mercedes Martinez does not sound anything like I thought she would. I don't know what I expected her voice to sound like, but she did sound like I expected her to sound. I don't know. But nice little package. Definitely looking forward to see them two tie up in the ring, and I can't wait for that match. What was perhaps the most anticipated thing on the show, we have Xia Li and Boa making their returns to NXT after their torture sessions from that old Chinese man and this mysterious woman figure. But they come out, they dress to the nines. Like, they look like they're ready to handle business. They got the new entrance, the new music is fired. They got a homegrown, a mysterious figure. She chilling on the stage. She like, hey man, this is kind of nice. This match was pretty much a squash. Her and Katrina Cortez. She's basically, Xia Li is eating and blocking all the shots. Like, I'm like, hey, if you train like that for 5 weeks, you better not feel no pain. You better not get hurt. She ultimately hits a spinning back kick, a beautiful one at that, for the 1, 2, 3 and the win. And then Xia Li and Boa return to the stage and just bow towards the mysterious figure. But if you're going to reintroduce anybody as like a threat, this is the way you do it. New presentation, new beautiful. I love just the sense of just like the culture coming out of it. I loved everything about this. I can't wait to see Boa and hopefully this mysterious woman at one point or another get into the ring and just duke it out with others as well. But I'm definitely looking forward to it. This was a great reintroduction for Xia Li and Boa. And coming up next, we do have the last woman standing match between Rhea Ripley and Raquel Gonzalez. I'm still wondering why it was just brought up a week ago in the build to this match that they used to be best friends, but I'm not going to dwell on that. You know why? Because this match was extremely physical and extremely fun. I enjoyed the heck out of this. They just start off with shots. They're like going at it throughout the beginning of this match. Weapons are introduced, handcuffs are introduced. We see Rhea Ripley handcuff Raquel Gonzalez to the wall, but Raquel is big body. She ain't gonna take that. She legit rips it off and has like pieces of the gate and like the handcuffs still on her arm. Like, that was pretty impressive and pretty awesome to see. We do get a spot later on in the match where Rhea Ripley just gets her back like taken out. She's thrown onto the crest of the table. The corner of the table just hits the crest of her back, and she's just like buried under the table and under like chairs and things like that by Gonzalez. She eventually does get up for that 9 count, but it looked pretty dreadful. Like, I don't think her back was supposed to hit the corner of the table like that. We do see them eventually make their way backstage. This is where Rhea Ripley really starts to take control. We see her hit a suplex through the glass door on Raquel Gonzalez, and they both are able to beat that 10 count still, but after a bit more fighting back and forth backstage, we see Raquel just laid out on the catering table, and Rhea Ripley goes to the top of some lockers, hits a beautiful senton through the table and just wipes her out. We do see Rhea Ripley make it back to her feet, and it looks like she really has the match in hand until Dakota Kai makes an appearance trying to help out her friend, but she is swiftly taken out. She's pretty much bullied. She slammed into some locker doors and then stuffed in the locker, and never to be seen again. But we do see the end of this match coming as they're fighting back out on the stage after a bit of back and forth. We see a Rhea Ripley. She's pretty much just caught by Raquel in the choke slam, and from the steel steps, she slammed right through the stage. Both of them go through the stage. Pretty awesome spot, to say the least. Raquel makes it back to her feet right before that 10 count at the count of 9 and is declared the winner. She is the last woman standing. Like I said, this was extremely fun. The right person did go over. I think Rhea Ripley is done. Get her to the main roster or something else, please, because she has nothing more to do at NXT. But Raquel Gonzalez came out of this match looking like a star. Definitely one of her best performances that I've seen outside of like the War Games match. In the first match with Rhea Ripley, she is really starting to prove her worth and really hold her own here in NXT. And so I am all for this. This is a beautifully structured match. And right after this match, we do have the Garganos, Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae, along with Indy Hartwell and Austin Theory, making their way to the arena via police escort. Looked pretty cool. They get in the ring and they're pretty much just celebrating Johnny Gargano finally breaking the curse of being able to defend his title after he defended his title successfully against Leon Ruff last week. But he's pretty much just getting presents. He gets a plaque showing he broke the curse. He sees a superhero painting, which looked pretty cool, by the way, as well. And then it's also announced that Johnny Gargano and Austin Theory are taking place in the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, which starts next week, by the way. But we have a couple of people that aren't going to take anything lying down. Shotzi Blackheart, she does make her return, and she eventually goes after Candice and just kind of clears the ring. Johnny Gargano is about to go in and kind of handle business because he's the man, and Kushida's like, nope, bro. And then eventually we do get a mixed tag team match because Dexter Lumis can make matches and just ring the bell, I guess. I guess that's how it works. And then he was on commentary afterwards. Why was he on commentary? He doesn't speak. It's not funny. But we do just get a pretty fair match. The stuff with Johnny Gargano and Kushida was definitely the most entertaining stuff. They were definitely just going back and forth. A lot of counter wrestling between them, which I really enjoyed. A lot of good tag team moves from Kushida and Shotzi Blackheart as well, kind of like the dive to the outside, the double kicks, the double arm breaker, stuff like that. That stuff was kind of fun. But we do get to the end of this match. Austin Theory is trying to interfere. Kushida swiftly takes him out and gets him in the ring. He eventually reverses Johnny Gargano into Austin Theory's nether regions and eventually rolls up Gargano for the 1-2-3 and the win, and he has pinned the NXT North American champion. Like I said, pretty fair match between the four people in the ring. We do get Kushida just established as the next challenger for Gargano, which I am not mad at. I would definitely love to see him in NXT championship range as well, but I can't definitely argue with him getting any title, so I'm definitely down for Kushida versus Gargano in any capacity. But yeah, just fun stuff from everybody involved. And then we also do get a short announcement backstage with William Regal and Dexter Lumis. Not only do we get a men's Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic, but now we're also getting a women's Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic. With the depth of this women's division, I don't see why this should be a problem at all. There are definitely great teams here in NXT. They definitely deserve this shot to kind of form their tag teams and kind of show what they can do. I love this idea to the nines. I'm definitely excited for this. And last off, in our main event, we do have the rematch from the NXT 2020 match of the year. We got Kyle O'Reilly versus Finn Balor for the NXT Championship. For me personally, just looking from what I saw at the beginning of the match, Kyle O'Reilly definitely came in a lot more confident and comfortable than he did in his last match with Finn Balor. He came in just with a more compact game plan. He was really working Balor a lot early. He was eventually caught in a submission, so he had to go ahead and break his submission with his teeth on the rope, with his actual mouth. But Balor ended up kicking the rope, and that's what kind of hurt Kyle O'Reilly's jaw for the duration of the match, which will come into play for basically the rest of the match. And so for the rest of the match, we see Finn Balor really going after that injured jaw of Kyle O'Reilly, kind of playing off their TakeOver 31 encounter where Kyle O'Reilly actually broke Finn Balor's jaw, so I like the psychology of it. And then Kyle O'Reilly going after that injured left arm of Finn Balor. I love this kind of match. It's really distinct to Kyle O'Reilly for the most part. His style of match is not really a lot of finisher kickouts, close calls, high action moves. It's more ground game and submission, and let's get in the trenches, which both men do really well. So I love this type of match. I think it was incredible. Even the high action moves that they kind of did have were just more different than we usually see. We see Kyle O'Reilly hit that PK, and while Balor's just knocked out, Kyle O'Reilly just goes flying outside the ring. Like that stuff of like high impact move, and just showing that these two are just expended from what they're doing in the ring was just awesome. We do see near the end of the match, as it's kind of reaching its peak, as Finn Balor is busted open somehow as well. Didn't really see the spot where it happened, but Finn Balor, as Kyle O'Reilly is charging into the corner, he gets that leg up, he gets that liver shot, which kind of plays back to their TakeOver 31 encounter as well. And Kyle O'Reilly's like, nah, man, I'm hurting again. That eventually leads to Finn Balor getting on that abdominal stretch. He kind of sits down on it and kind of transitions into a different submission, but he's pulling back, kind of stretching that abdomen out, pulling back on that arm, and then he eventually gets his hands around the face of Kyle O'Reilly, kind of pulling back from that jaw as well, and eventually Kyle O'Reilly submits, and Finn Balor is still your NXT champion. We do see Undisputed Era, they come to the ring, and Kyle O'Reilly is looking dejected, sitting in the corner like, man, did I really tap out to this dude? And then we see Finn Balor with just blood all over the right side of his face, looking like a warrior, looking like the champion that he is supposed to be, of course. And that's the end of the show. This was a phenomenal main event. Definitely played off of their TakeOver 31 encounter a lot. And while I don't think it was as good, it was just as physical, just as many good spots from this match as it was in that last match. These two can literally do no wrong together. I'm really looking forward to see where Kyle O'Reilly kind of goes from here, because we know Finn Balor's on the upward trajectory, but we'll see where Kyle O'Reilly kind of finds his footing at. It won't be in the Dusty Rhodes Classic or anything like that, so we'll kind of see where he kind of finds his footing from here. And that is going to be it for our New Year's Evil review. This was a pretty amazing show. We did have that first hour kind of lackluster a little bit, but once Xia Li and Bo returned, kind of kicked everything into full gear. We saw that amazing last woman standing match and the awesome main event that we did have. Everything pretty came together in that last hour and put a nice bow on the show. So I'm definitely excited for where NXT is going from this point. We do have a takeover coming up on Valentine's Day and 2 forms of Dusty Rhodes tag team classes to look forward to. So I'm definitely all in for what NXT is doing right now, just starting the new year off right. But that is going to be it from your boy. We do got more videos just coming up throughout the rest of the week. Definitely like, share, subscribe, all of the cheesy and cliche stuff. Definitely go out to looking at our social medias. They will be in the description so you can look at those a little bit further. But that is going to be me. You will see me soon. Outside of that, peace. Be easy. It's all love. Hey.